Yep. And there we go. The first topic we're going to be going over is the Transportation Access Program Pass. Individuals with disabilities may apply to the authority's Reservation and Customer Relations Manager for a Steamship Authority Transportation Access Pass, which, when approved and issued by the authority, entitles the holder to a discounted fare upon its presentation and appropriate identification to a ticket seller. Individuals who are eligible will have to have a permanent physical disability that substantially limits one or more of the individual's major life activities affecting the individual's mobility or coordination, that they suffer from a serious long-term mental illness or is current recipient of service to the Massachusetts Department of Mental Health or the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services, or is a veteran with a disability rating of 70% or greater. The Transportation Access Pass Program requirements: you need to complete the application signed by the applicant and a healthcare professional, as well as documentation as a current recipient of services to the Massachusetts Department of Developmental Services, and documents of a veteran with a disability rating of 70% or greater. Certification from the VA signed by a veteran service officer which specifies the individual disability rating, or a certification from a licensed healthcare professional demonstrating the applicant falls under one or the above eligibilities. And just so everybody knows who a licensed certified healthcare professional is, an example would be a licensed certified healthcare professional, including those who are familiar with a disability and are licensed or certified in their field, such as a medical doctor, a licensed social worker, a psychologist, an audiologist, or a registered nurse or psychiatrist. Our next is our military discount passenger travel. This is for any active military. This also includes the total embarkation fee. You must present your active duty card and may travel in civilian clothing. If you're a reserved unit member, you must present the reserve card and must be traveling in uniform. A maximum of 2 tickets may be purchased at any time. One way is $5 and round trip is $10. Next, we're going to go on to the programs and services available for Vineyard residents only. The first program is our Senior Citizens Fare. It includes individuals who are 65 years of age or over can apply for the Senior Citizen Fare under the following conditions. The individual must be a year-round or seasonal resident of Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket, or a year-round resident of Barnstable, Falmouth, or New Bedford. An individual is considered a resident of a particular location if he or she has a settled place of abode there. In order to receive this fare, an individual must provide either a driver's license or other government-issued identification showing his or her birth date or proof of age, a residential address for proof of residency in one of the above communities, or his or her senior discount travel card issued by the authority's group sales office. The authority's group sale office issues senior discount traveler cards to the eligible individuals upon application and appropriate documentation demonstrating their eligibility for this fare. Such documentations may include, but is not limited to, 2 or more telephone, water, electricity, cable or satellite, or other similar utility bills issued to an individual within the last 30 days with an address in the appropriate community. Contact our group sales department at groups@steamshipauthority.com to request your senior citizen travel card application. Reservation assistance for off-island medical appointment. If you and your caregiver need to travel with your vehicle for medical appointments or treatments, or to attend a funeral service upon the death of a member of your immediate family, you may reserve preferred space in advance for a preferred profile account with the Steamship Authority. You may be required to submit written verification documentation of your eligibility and need. If you have an appointment, please book your reservation as soon as possible. Do not wait until the last minute. This does not provide a discounted service. The requirements for this is proof of an appointment, a printout from the doctors showing appointments on the doctor's official letterhead, a screenshot of an appointment from your medical provider's dashboard, a letter from the doctor on a doctor's official letterhead, or a copy of an appointment card. Must include the date and time of the appointment, the name of the patient traveling, and be verifiable, meaning on doctor's name or official office notes. Booking these reservations, you have to email supervisors at steamshipauthority.com, fax to 508-477-8717, or call the reservation supervisors at extension 155, 180, 229, or 273. We have military programs for island residents and stationed military personnel. An island resident who has his or her own active excursion profile account is an active military service, provides the authority with an active service card, submits documentation verifying station in an active military service off island, may travel on an extended excursion fare. A non-island resident may be issued a profile account allowing for travel on an excursion fare if the resident provides documentation verifying that he or she is stationed in an active military service on the island. In these circumstances, the individual's eligibility to travel on an excursion fare expires when he or she no longer is stationed in an active military service on one of the islands. We also offer short-term medical parking discounts. If you want to park your car in the Palmer Avenue lot used to make frequent medical appointments through a specific period of time, you can apply for a temporary parking discount by filling out the form available from the parking office at Palmer Avenue lot and submitting medical documentation. Once reviewed and approved, you will receive a temporary discounted parking permit. For more information and application, please contact our parking office at 508-548-5011, extension 291, or email parking@steamshipauthority.com. We offer reduced medical rate program. Island residents active in the excursion program who need to travel with their vehicle for frequent medical treatments or appointments on the mainland may also be eligible to travel on a special excursion fare equal to 50% of the applicable automobile excursion rate based on the time of the year and the size of the vehicle, subject to specific terms and conditions. Program requirements: only island residents who are already eligible for the automobile excursion rate and are profiled as such in the authority's reservation system are eligible for the special excursion fares. Preferred program members are ineligible for the discounted rate. Eligible island residents must submit supporting documentation of a series of at least 5 upcoming scheduled medical appointments within the next 12-month period for the same medical condition for the medical doctor's office in order to apply for the program. Once approved, the rate will be valid through the final listing medical appointment on a submitted documentation, but no longer than 1 year. And any conditions or need that exceed the 1 year will have to resubmit yearly. Any documentation that fails to list specific dates will require confirmation of such appointments for the discounted rate. Vehicle reservations at this special excursion fare must be requested and arranged to the reservation manager or a supervisor at the Mashpee Reservation Office prior to the medical appointment. They cannot be made online or at the terminal. The reservation manager and supervisors are allowed at their discretion to make other special travel arrangements upon request for those qualified excursion island residents requiring frequent treatments or appointments on the mainland for the same medical condition, but may have other extenuating circumstances. Submit and complete the reduced medical rate application accompanied by all the required documentation. Failure to provide complete documents will result in a delay or denial into this program. For booking the reservations at this medical rate must be booked through the supervisors by phone at 508-548-5011, extension 155, 180, 229, or 273, or by email at supervisors@steamshipauthority.com, or with the reservation manager at extension 204. Reservations for this program cannot be booked via our online reservation booking system. Next is the Blue Line. Blue Line allows a minimum of 15 cars to be placed in a standby line on a reservation-only day at the Woods Hole and Vineyard Haven terminals. This program is available to customers eligible for the auto excursion fares or for the preferred spaces. Vehicles used for commercial purposes are not eligible for the Blue Line. The availability of the Blue Line may be suspended or halted at any time during the day at the discretion of the agent on duty due to trip cancellations or unforeseen circumstances. The minimum number of cars may also be changed at the discretion of the agent on duty. The process is as follows. First, you get Blue Lines is for reservation only day. There's 15 Blue Line spots per day, subject to the agent on duty's discretion. All prepaid and booked reservations and medicals will be loaded onto the boat first. If there is still room after this is done, the Blue Line vehicles will go next. Islander Preferred Excursion Program. Typically a program for those who live on the island of Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard year-round. Being part of this program gives you access to the discounted rates for vehicles to travel from the island and returning, access to preferred space, access to the Head Start program, and eligibility into other resident programs depending on needs. Required documents. All are required for each person applying into this program. A valid Massachusetts driver's license with your island address in the name of each person applying to use the excursion program. If the address on your license is not your island address and you have recently changed your address to an island address, please provide a printout from the registry of motor vehicles. Street list verifications with your island town. If not on the printed street list, you must submit a street list certificate certified by your own town clerk. Valid Massachusetts vehicle registration with an island address for all cars wanted to be entered into the profile. Vehicles must be registered with an island address and to the persons applying. Leased vehicles must include a copy of the lease agreement showing name of the owner and garage location on the island. If address on lease is not on the island address, then you must include a current insurance coverage section page showing the name of the applicant and island garage location. A company vehicle may be registered to a customer's business with an island address. The customer provides a copy of the current coverage section page of the vehicle's insurance policy showing the garaging of the vehicle, same as the applicant's island address. A minimum of 3 company vehicles may be added to each qualified excursion program. Failure to submit all required documents will delay the processing, and completion of your application may result in the inability for listed applicants to participate in the Head Start Advanced Reservation Program. Excursion policies, program policies and information. General information. Excursion fare reservations must return no later than 31 days from the departure off island. If requested, fares may include 2 adults and 2 children, ages 5 through 12. Preferred space can be used in conjunction with an excursion rate reservation. Access to preferred space. Driver must show ID to match the name on the reservation. Must originate on island. Must use round trip, and it's non-transferable. Booking preferred reservation or excursion reservations. You can be booked in person at the island terminal or by any of the below contacts. Online at steamship30.com, by mail to 509 Falmouth Road, Suite 1C, Mashpee, Mass. 02649, or by phone at 508-477-8600. College excursion program application. College program requirements. Year-round resident of Martha's Vineyard or Nantucket. Excursion program participant in good standing. Profile must be in the student's name only. Full-time student at listed school. Submission of either the SSA Submission of either. This must be done each semester. The SSA college program verification form or the verification letter from a college registrar of the student's full-time enrollment for the current semester. Note, verification must be done before the semester begins. Pre-registration is not accepted. College program policy, 1 vehicle per profile. Must send proof from the registrar each semester before the semester starts. All travel must originate on island. All travel must be within 30 days prior to or following the semester and allowed 4 extended excursion round trips per calendar year. Booking reservations and submissions, verification can be sent to collegeprogram@steamshipauthority.com. You can fax at 508-289-5250. Reservations must be booked with supervisors by phone at 508-548-5011, extension 155, 180-229-273, or emailing at supervisors@steamshipauthority.com. The Islanders Preferred Program. Typically a program for those who live on the island of Nantucket or Martha's Vineyard seasonally and are not year-round. Being part of this program gives you access to preferred space, access to Head Start program, and the eligibility into other offered residence programs depending on need. The required documentations for acceptance into this program is 1, proof of residence, 2 utility bills in the applying resident's name issued in the last 30 days with the island address. Utility bills accepted would be telephone, water, electric, cable or satellite, trash removal. Tax bill is not accepted. If profile is listed under 2 names, both parties must provide complete proof. If both names are on the bill, that qualifies as 1 submission of proof for each name on bill. Vehicle registration, copy of the vehicle registration for any car you want on a profile, regardless of where it is registered. Vehicles must be registered to the person applying. Leased vehicles must include a copy of the lease agreement pages that lists the name of the owner and where the car is garaged. Please list any additional vehicle descriptions that do not appear on your registration so you can correctly identify the size of your vehicle, i.e. pickup trucks need to be described, the cap and the bed type. Failure to submit all required documents will delay the processing and completion of your application and may result in an inability to the listed applicants to participate in the Head Start reservation program. Preferred space policies and information. General information. This is available to customers profiled as an Islander Preferred or Islander Preferred excursion. Preferred space reservations are limited to 1 per customer per day. Reservation must originate from the island. The off-island portion of the ticket must be used for the return ticket to be valid. For round-trip travel, the same vehicle must be used for both segments of the trip. Preferred space reservations must be paid at the time of booking. Preferred space can be purchased as a one-way reservation from the island only. Reservations returning to the island can access preferred or standard space in conjunction with the off-island reservation. Driver must show ID to match the name to the reservation. All preferred space reservations are non-refundable and non-transferable. Martha's Vineyard preferred spaces, we have a 7-day preferred space. Space goes on sale at 7:30 a.m., 7 days in advance of the departure. And a 1-day preferred space goes on sale at 7:30 a.m., 1 day in advance of the departure. The Head Start program. Head Start is available to all participants of the Island Preferred and Island Preferred excursion program. Each profiled customer is allowed to submit up to 5 transactions, one-way or round trip. You will need to provide name, address, license plate, and vehicle information, year, make, and model for all reservations. Failure to provide accurate dimensions, including a rooftop carrier and attached bicycles, could void reservation space and or may impact rate. 3 of the 5 transactions may be designated as transferable reservations. If you do not have the name of the vehicle, license plate, year, make, and model of the persons using the space you're reserving, we will hold a reservation under your name. A transfer slip will be sent to you and must be returned no later than 30 days prior to the scheduled departure of the first segment of the reservation with the name, address, license plate, and vehicle information of the person using the reservation. Also indicate any extended length or heights, as in bike racks or luggage racks. A confirmation will be sent at that time. If you decide to keep a transferable reservation for your own use, you still must submit the transfer slip no later than 30 days prior to the scheduled departure of the first segment to keep the reservation and receive the confirmation. All reservations not transferred by the deadline will be canceled and a $10 fee will be assessed on all transfer slips and sent back for a refund. Reservation space must be prepaid. Method of payment cannot be changed after confirmation is issued. Check all confirmations for correct dates, times, and destinations. Errors must be reported immediately upon receipt of the transfer slips or confirmation. Failure to do so implies acceptance of the confirmation as stated. All right. If anybody has any questions, please feel free to hit the raise hand button. I do see we have one in the chat right now. 2 in the chats.
We receive a confirmation of our application being received.
At this time, we do not currently have the ability to send out a confirmation of that. We are working with our IT department to currently get that going. You are more than welcome to contact us. I would suggest about 4 days after submitting your application in for us to check on that for you.
And then when do the Head Start bookings begin?
Head Start bookings will begin the second week in January. And all of the opening dates are currently on the website at this time. If you go to steamshipauthority.com.
Does preferred have to originate on island-like excursion?
Preferred space does have to originate from the island.
And then we'll take the questions.
Yep.
from Cindy.
Hi, Cindy, if you unmute yourself.
Oh, sorry about that. Yep.
That's okay.
No worries.
So my question is about the preferred excursion program. Can you add additional cars later?
Of course.
Okay, and do we just have to submit whatever car we're adding?
Yep.
I assume it can just get added. I assume I don't need to resubmit all the other pieces if I add another car.
Correct. We just need a copy of the registration that shows obviously your name that matches the profile and obviously the car information so we can add it to your profile.
Okay, great. And can all of that information be done online, or do I need to be in person or by mail?
You can send it via email, fax, or you can drop it off at any of the terminals. Email tends to work best for most of our customers these days, but again, you can do it any one of the 3 ways I said previously.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I think there was a question in the blue line, if I saw that correctly.
Will this recording be posted?
Yes, it will be posted on our YouTube page in a day or so.
Okay. And then it says, what is the difference between year-round residents and seasonal residents with priority and preferred reservations? Year-round residents need more spaces.
The differential in regards to the programs are simply the requirements. They're typically, it's not like I can guarantee that somebody that is applicable into the excursion program or into the preferred program is definitively seasonal or year round. It just, that tends to be typically who they are.
And then will this meeting be posted on this page?
The details of the presentation will be posted on the Steamship Authority website. And again, the video will be linked to our YouTube page.
Does Head Start qualifications have to be confirmed each year or each 2 years?
I'm assuming you're referring to being in the either the excursion or preferred program, and it is a 2-year renewal that you do need to participate in order to make your Head Start reservations for the following year.
And can you explain the Blue Line program a little more?
So the Blue Line program is what we use on days during the summer where we have reservation only days. It is for an island resident, and basically it's an impromptu standby line. Generally, we allow 15 spaces a day, leaving the Vineyard and leaving Woods Hole. It's at the discretion of the agent. Depending on how the day is going, they could definitely increase that number. And 9 out of 10 times that usually does happen. The only time we will suspend the Blue Line is if we have weather or mechanical issues. Like I said, you need to be an island resident. Once you show up, you show them the ticket and they'll put you in the line. Once we start loading the boat, all the reservations will go on the boat, then the medicals. And then when we have space available in the end, we start filling that in with the blue lines. So hopefully that helps a little.
Does the Steamship Authority have any thoughts of creating an Islander commuter ferry that will run daily?
We do have the commuter cards, which is a monthly card that gives a discounted rate to people that are commuting to the island. I'm not sure if that's what you mean.
Is there an easy way to put the place where to add senior cards? Currently buried in text.
Yeah, I can see about moving the address to it's an easier location for you guys, for everybody to find and
And
make it easier, so.
If you also go onto our website at steamshipauthority.com/about/forms, you can click on the senior card link there and request an application be sent to you.
Now, what if I buy a new car with old license plates? What do I need? And where do I send an email?
When you get a new car in that situation, just again, make a copy of the registration. And again, you can either fax it to us, you can email it to us, or you can bring it down to any of the terminals.
Are we still doing odd or even for registering for island preferred programs?
This year is odd numbers.
You mean adding trips to card online? The site is steamshipauthority.com/lifeline card. Is that the right?
So we offer a few different cards. We offer the Lifeline card, commuter cards. The commuter card is good for one person and just for the month it's sold in. It is a substantially discounted rate. We also have the 5 and 10 red, which are good for a longer period of time.
Do Islanders get preference in the blue line over seasonal?
Yes, as long as you're in the excursion program, you do get put into the blue line and you will go on.
And we did go over that the blue line is for seasonal residents.
As long as you're in the preferred or
The
the
excursion.
excursion program.
We'll take some questions. Nancy? Hi, Nancy, if you want to unmute yourself.
There,
Oh, there you are.
okay, there we are. Okay, thanks. On the blue line, I'm not quite understanding. So if I want to use the blue line, but there are no reservations available that I can book online, how do I have a reservation to present?
You just get an open ticket.
Which you can purchase at the terminal.
Yep. So you can use an open ticket for that.
Okay, so an open ticket. And that is, okay. I didn't know that there was an open ticket. Okay.
Yes. Hi, Alan. Want to unmute yourself? Are you there, Alan? There you are.
Alan, can you hear us?
All right, we'll come back to Alan. Hopefully we can.
Figure out, yeah.
So Blue Line is standby. It just happens during the summer. It's like an Islanders only standby, I guess, is how to make it sound a little bit easier to understand. So the tourist coming in can't just use it. It has to be an island resident.
And then we have another question here.
All right, go ahead.
DM
Boyles?
Boyles? Are you
Yes,
there?
Oh,
Yes.
there you
Hi.
are.
so on the open, two things. The
Mhm.
blue line, you can be an island preferred or or a full year resident, yes?
Yes.
And when you pull up to the gate, do they know that what do you say? Do you say, I want to be on a blue line
Yeah.
reservation? Okay,
So that's only on the days that we have reservation only in the summertime. So
okay,
you couldn't do that right now. Right now, you would unfortunately just have to go into the regular standby line. But if
okay,
this was August and you came down, you're like, I'd like to go Blue Line, then they will ask you for your reservation number. If you have it, they'll pull it up and then they will put you in the proper line.
And on an open ticket, so
Mhm.
if you purchase an open ticket reservation, it has a reservation number. Is that what you need in order to be able to qualify for Blue Line or whatever?
Yeah, and if it doesn't say excursion on your ticket already, what we'll do is they'll ask for your driver's license and you can just show your driver's license and obviously it's going to have a Vineyard address. So
Okay. And the advantage of having an open ticket, because I didn't really understand that concept.
it's just a standby ticket, basically.
Okay,
In regards to the blue line, basically what it is you're going to be placed in line to get onto the boat. So you would need to have a ticket to present to them once you start boarding the boat. So the idea would be theoretically, you could go down and say, I'm going to get into the blue line. I'm an island resident and I want to go in and purchase an open ticket. They would direct
Okay.
you to the line and you could then go into the terminal, purchase your standby ticket or your open ticket. And then you would hand that in to present when they start loading the boats.
okay, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, let's try Alan again.
All right, Alan, we're gonna try you again.
You there, Alan?
Can you hear us? I think Alan is having,
All right.
If you could put your question in chat, we can get to it then.
there you go.
We just did that one.
Yep.
All right, Karen, if you want to unmute yourself.
Hi, I left a question in the chat about the blue line.
Yep, okay.
We've tried to use the blue line on a few occasions, returning to the island.
Mhm.
And can you find out ahead of time if the agent is allowing it? Because on a few times, we've driven back to Woods Hole expecting to go on the blue line and been told, no, the agent isn't allowing it and not giving a reason. So it's difficult. It's been difficult to access the blue line for us quite a few times.
You can definitely contact the ticket office in Woods Hole. Unfortunately, sometimes it can be difficult to get a hold of them because they ring frequently. But it is also something that with the new website redesign that we're going to be going under, I know I did see something on that as well. That might be something we can actually post on the website when we decide to close Blue Line. If we use up all the 15 spaces and we can't reopen it.
Yeah, that would be helpful rather than driving all the way back to
No,
Woods Hole.
absolutely.
being told, no, we're not having it this day, and then not giving a reason why.
Yeah, I mean, if they're saying majority of the time, if they're not putting you into the blue line, it's because they've used up the 15 spots. And we're not moving cars as fluidly as we want to. So, but that's definitely something that we'll look at adapting our new website to show that information more readily for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
So a chat comment says, so the blue line is standby, it just happens during the summer.
For island residents and preferred programs, yeah.
During day of sailing days only. So any day where there is no traditional standby, you would have the option to utilize the blue line.
And how do people know if there is a blue line? We did just go over that.
Yeah, we just
just go over
clarified
that.
that.
If I,
When and how is the decision made to utilize the lifts?
it depends on what is currently booked on that boat. Unfortunately, if it's a truckload, there's a lot of trucks and we cannot utilize the lift decks properly. We look at what's in the standby and we adjust accordingly to that as well. So depending on standby and availability and people's willingness to go up on it.
And even the weather sometimes has an impact on it. If the seas aren't compatible, we can't utilize the lift decks for a safety reason.
What if one of my children is traveling on and off island with one of our cars, which are registered in my name, the parents? How do they get added to profile as a driver?
We simply just need a copy of their driver's license that states, their address on the island that obviously would match yours. And what you can do is you just have them sign a profile application with the profile number on it, just so we know what profile to associate them with, and they can be added on. If you wish for them to travel and utilize the excursion program for college students, they would need their own profile. They can use your car to do that program, though. It is okay for a parent's name to be on the registration. We have many college students who have that.
And then another question was, is the blue line only for cars?
Yes.
Yes.
The blue line is only for vehicles, passenger vehicles. Mm-mm.
That says that the island needs a commuter ferry for cars, not walk-on passenger.
Okay.
Is there a plan to revise the website or make an app?
Yes, there is a plan currently. We are in the process of redesigning our website right now and a mobile app. It's about 1.5 years out, but it is in the process.
I signed up for the island excursion plan. One time my truck died in line before boarding. It was jump started. If it died at home, could I substitute a vehicle I borrowed from a friend?
That would be an extenuating circumstance. If for whatever reason that were to happen, you would want to contact one of our reservation supervisors, and we would able to guide you through that situation. We do generally, make concessions for situations in that matter. Sometimes we do ask for documentation if your car is in repair, just stating that, the garage will usually give you a slip stating that, and we just, allow that for that particular reservation.
Will the steamship ever have a commuter ferry where the ferry leaves and returns guaranteed by the end of the day? So it sounds like booking a secure round trip on a specific ferry.
I'm not quite sure what the overall question is. I mean, because we do have obviously boats that travel round trip, and they obviously, do go in both directions. The idea of a commuter ferry has not been I'm lost at the word I'm looking for. It's more problematic than it sounds, because we need to try to make sure we get the supplies to the island. And having that adds more issues in. Can you explain more about open tickets? You want to take that one?
Open tickets are basically when you book reservations, especially for the excursion program, you know what time you're coming off at, say, 7 a.m. And you know you're going to come back, but you're not sure if it's going to come back in 5 days, 10 days, 7 days, because you're going off on something. You can leave that as an open-ended ticket. So it's basically a standby ticket.
Yeah, and if you're doing it on the excursion rate, long as you return within that, 31 days, that's perfectly fine. The only thing you do need to be aware of with the open tickets is the open tickets can only be purchased either via a phone call or via an in-person purchase. You cannot do open tickets online at this time. But again, with our new website that we are working on, it is one of the things that we are working on building into it.
To use the blue line, does your ticket have to be for that specific day?
No, nope. No, you cannot request to go on Blue Line when you purchase a ticket. That's something that has to be done when you show up at the terminal. When's our next open house? Up for the terminal?
They're asking about when.
They'll be the end of December or beginning of June.
In regards to the pedestrian plans for the new terminal, the end of December, beginning of January, we'll be having another open house in regards to that. So hopefully that'll be when that happens.
And then you request the blue line when you pull up to the gate.
Correct, on the day of when you get down to the terminal. And again, the blue line is only on day of sailing days. It's not on any other standby day because obviously we already have standby.
So day of sailing days in the summer would be Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday.
Great. If you have continuous doctor's appointments on the mainland, is there a specific arrangement for island residents?
Yes, that is exactly what our discounted medical program is for. You can get the application online or you can contact any of our supervisors and they can email it to you if you need that, and they are available at the terminal. So if you have 5 upcoming medical appointments within the next 12 months, you just submit documentation in with the completed application and we can get you into the program for you.
So they asked if you have a profile number and are a part-time resident, can you use blue line?
You would have to be qualified into the excursion or the preferred program. Anybody who travels with us that makes a reservation by default has a profile number. So even, your cousin from Wisconsin, if they made a reservation, would have a profile number, but they're not necessarily an island resident. But if you are in the excursion program or you are in the preferred program, then you would be eligible because you have that associated with your account.
Right, and then what is our YouTube channel where this would be?
Steamship, YouTube.com/Steamship Authority, I believe it's Steamship Authority, all one word.
And then what is the senior ticket fare discount?
The rate on the,
Sorry.
oh, sorry, our screen went out there.
The senior fare discount would be 50% for the passenger tickets.
We have some hands up.
Kendall?
Yeah, here's the question. So you were saying that there's 4 days that the blue line will be available. I think you said Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday during the summer months. Is standby available for residents on the other days? Tuesday,
Yes.
Wednesday, Thursday? Okay.
Yep. You'd be in the standby line with everybody else.
Yeah, it's
So
just
it
a
would be
regular
day.
standby.
Can I make a suggestion that you put the YouTube address in the chat so we can all see it?
Absolutely.
Mhm,
Thanks very much.
of course.
Another question.
You there?
Yes.
Hi, your question?
The senior fare is eligible, your eligibility is whether you're an island preferred program person or,
Apologize. Continue.
well, you're about to answer it, so go ahead.
Okay. The senior program is based on the port towns. So if you live on the island of Nantucket, Martha's Vineyard, or any of our port towns, Falmouth, Barnstable, and you can qualify with the requirements that are listed for the senior program, then you can get into the program. So it's not specific to just island residents, it's port town residents.
Residents, okay.
Mhm.
Whether you're seasonal or full
Correct.
year. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
I had a question about why trucks are on regular ferries instead of just freight boats.
They're actually on both. We try to keep the majority of them on freight boats, but unfortunately, we do need to get the supplies to and from the island. So when the freight boats fill up, then we do have to get them on the regular boats. We are aware of the standby cameras being down, and we are in the process of trying to get them back up and running.
We addressed the new website.
Oh, can you go back up to the blue line one?
Yeah.
It said, someone wrote, does the blue line ever close for the day, but then agents decided there's less congestion than expected, so might the line get reopened? Absolutely, that does happen. So it can reopen again later on at night, depending on how congested and how much traffic is coming through.
And that falls under the agent's discretion again, if they notice that, they do tend to have more of an availability, they're going to give that opportunity, available.
And then can you talk more about the preferred tickets, the 7-in-1 days and how you get those?
So preferred space is available in two different functions. We have a 7-day preferred space, which goes on sale either online, in person, or over the phone, 7:30 a.m. And you have a 1-day preferred, which same process, it goes on sale 1 day prior, 7:30 a.m., either on the phone, in person, or online. When you are online and you're looking for space, or you go down to the terminal, they're gonna, look for the preferred space for you, or if you call in, we're gonna check and see what's available to get you onto the boats. There is a limited number of preferred spaces, so it doesn't mean that, every person that either calls in, gets the space. It varies depending upon, what they have available.
I know it's like Sean put the YouTube link in there for you guys.
Thank you very much, Sean.
If you want to put up the other PowerPoint. We've been getting a lot of questions in regards to the preferred space. So we're just going to put up a couple of additional slides showing how it's allocated and where they are. Give us 1 second. All right. This first, everybody can, you want to share? There you go. All right, this first bar graph shows how the trips are allocated for preferred spaces. As you can see, the blues are coming off island and the orange is going back to the island. So you can see that we have a good amount of preferred space allocated coming off island first thing in the morning for everybody so they can get their appointments. All right, this is showing the breakdown between the 7-day, which is the green, and the red, which is your 1-day preferred. It should also be noted that we've made some changes to the preferred spaces. It used to be 3 days prior to departure, the 7-day spaces would go back into the general population for booking. That's now been changed to noon the day before. So whatever doesn't get used in the 7-day actually ends up getting put into the 1-day. So the 1-day preferred actually can grow on occasion.
It gives you more opportunity to utilize your preferred space.
And this is just showing the same thing. The gray is the 7-day going back to the island, and the blue is the 1-day. Then we could just skip over that one real quick. And you don't need to see Nantucket. So just wanted to give everybody just a little bit of an idea of how the preferred spaces are broken up. And we do offer 120 preferred spaces coming off island every day and 90 coming back to the island. You can definitely call the terminal to find out if there's availability for a blue line still.
Another question.
You're all set?
Okay.
Hello, you're
Do you need to, for the preferred program, do you, preferred space program, I'm sorry, do you need to ask specifically for that when you're doing your reservation, when you get to the gate, or do you ever have to mention that you're looking for a preferred space, or they go by your profile number?
No, they go by your profile number. So when you call up or if you go online, they automatically look for it. So like, for example, when you go online, the computer notes that you're an island resident and it's going to automatically look at preferred space and regular space.
Okay.
When you call up and you speak with a clerk, the same thing. They're going to look at regular space and preferred space because they're going to try to do the best they can to assist you. And again, same thing, obviously in person at the terminal, they're going to look at both to try to help you the best they can.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. We already did that one. Sorry, just bear with us. We're trying to get back down to where we left off on the
On the
questions.
comments, yeah. Can we go back up a little bit?
What are the plans to accommodate the additional seasonal and year-round residents now living on the island? Substantially more people traveling now and getting very challenging to get reservations. We have, gone over our usage with the preferred spaces and seeing how it's been utilized. And we've come to the conclusion that, like I said earlier, by taking the 7-day and whatever doesn't get used, keeping that within the profile, the preferred profile, so people can use it on 1 day, has made a big difference on people being able to get those reservations.
And will a copy of the slideshow be in digital form?
Yes, it will be on the website.
If the website appears that online car reservations are fully booked on certain days, are there preferred spaces held aside and available by phone?
No, it's all accessible at the same time. So when you go online, like I had said previously, what happens is the computer notates that you're a preferred customer. And so it shows you the availability for regular and preferred space all at once. It doesn't, hold out one for the other. And all preferred space is available via. I'm sorry?
As long as they log into their profile.
Yes, you'd have to be logged into your profile to view that preferred space. So you can't just go in as a guest. You'd have to make sure that you are logged in specifically with your approved profile number. But it's not specific to phone preferred or website preferred or in person. It's all available even across the board.
If people have waitlisted and are accommodated, do those spots come out of the preferred spots available?
The waitlist space becomes available by other customers who cancel and change. And whereas I know that sounds silly to many of you, I'm sure, you'd be surprised at the number of people that do call up and change last minute, cancel. Space always becomes available a variety of ways. But the preferred space, as Allison has already stated, does get held up until 12 noon the day prior. So it is not accessible via the wait list. It is accessible via the preferred program only.
The senior discount is available for passenger tickets only or vehicles too.
Passenger tickets only. So we chose this time because we felt that it would be easier for most people to attend. We also did the option of posting on the YouTube website so that people can go back and review. And obviously we gave both mine and Allison's email. So if anybody, chose to view it at a later time, which I had many people call and ask me about, they could do so. And then obviously email us any questions that perhaps were not answered in this presentation.
It's not up on the website yet, but it will be shortly.
Any more chat questions or hand raises?
So if there's anybody, any other questions, please feel free to put it in the chat or raise your hand. And it seemed like we've almost at the end.
Thank you very much. We do appreciate, we try very hard to help you guys as best we can. And we are, glad to be here to try to help you.
If our
Yep.
reservation in the wait list, my request will not be fulfilled by a preferred space.
It will not. The preferred space is not accessible via the wait list. So if you're on the wait list and you want to try to access the preferred space, you have to call in just like everybody else that is trying to utilize the preferred space. Otherwise, it would be unfair to all your other island residents if you were to wait list and get it before that. You are welcome to wait list. And then if you don't get something via the wait list, call up just like everybody else, or go online or down to the terminal, however you choose to access your preferred space, and then check for availability and change it. But the wait list will not access the preferred space, as it would not be fair to all the other residents.
If you get a preferred space to get off island at the terminal in the morning, can you also ask for a preferred space to come back when making the reservation?
Yes, we also, again, check preferred space in both directions. So if you're telling us you want to go off on one day and you're giving us a return time, we're going to check all availability. So if you have access to the preferred space at that time, we will check preferred space at that time. And again, same thing with the online system. As long as you're within the proper window, you have access to it, it will be shown to you.
And can you just explain what preferred space is one more time?
Preferred space is a specific number of spaces held aside for people that are in the preferred or the preferred excursion programs that qualify in as residents. That way, you guys can make reservations when it's possibly already sold out from other customers making reservations.
And there was a question about the emails, and all our emails are listed on the website. So that is.
They are, and in the presentation as well.
Okay, will you hold an in-person meeting on the island?
There are no plans at the moment for that, but that does not mean we can't look into that. That is always something that, we can look into, given the current situation, with COVID still. It's one of those things that we're, still working on, but we felt that this would be a good way to at least get information to you in a more fashionable amount of time.
Do we have another hand raised?
All right, you're all set. You just want to unmute yourself.
Okay. When will the odd year people be solicited to register for the Island Preferred program?
As of right now, we sent out an email back in October to renew your application. Within the next week or so, we're going to be sending out the email for the Head Start program, which again will give you a reminder to update your profile. But you have up until the end of the year to do so.
Okay.
And you can do it after that as well. I don't want you to think that if you don't reprofile now, you don't have the ability to do so. You just limit yourself to not being able to access the Head Start program. So if, for whatever reason, you can't update your profile this very moment, that's okay. Just if you wish to participate in Head Start, it needs to be done before the end of the year.
So that access is on the site right now for us to do that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So do you have to apply to two separate programs, the excursion and the preferred? Or if you're part of the excursion, are you able to request the benefits of the preferred program?
Precisely. So the excursion preferred program is the discounted rate along with the access to the preferred space. That's its own program. And then there is the preferred program, which is just the space and not the discount. So if you get into the excursion program, by default, you automatically get access to the preferred space.
If there's any more questions?
Oh, we got one
Oh,
more.
we got a hand. Hi, Karen.
Hi, I have a question about, we have a car at Palmer Ave.
Mhm.
And we got a message one time that you were allowed to make a round trip reservation for that car from off island, from Palmer Ave or from Woods Hole back to Woods Hole again, round trip. And
Yep,
it-
you,
And
I'm
it
sorry.
didn't specify dates. And we did try to do this once and we're told that we couldn't do it in the summer, that it was going to be off-season only, but there's nothing in writing that explains that. Can you tell us about that program?
There were yes, there were limitations on the program previously. So there was a point in time where you could not do it in the summer. It is available for you to do now in the summer. So
it is?
what yep, long as it's the qualified car that's on your parking permit,
Right.
you can now utilize it. This has to be done over the phone or via email with a supervisor, though. You cannot do it in person, you cannot do it online, and you cannot do it over the phone with a clerk. It has to be with an actual supervisor because we
And
have to be able to override that for you to do that.
Okay, and is it unlimited round trips or what, are there limitations to this or what?
Right now, there are no limitations, but we are looking at putting some limitations in. And people do it a few times a year.
The
Yeah,
purpose is,
That's fine.
yeah, the purpose is basically so that, you park your car off island for the, the peak season when it's more difficult for you to get your car on and off the island so you can utilize it on the mainland. And then obviously you're going to want to bring it back. So it's basically to give you that opportunity to utilize your excursion rate and utilize taking your car off and on to be in the parking lot. So that's the purpose of it.
okay, so you would call and ask to speak to a supervisor to do it?
Yep, that's all you have to do. Give your reservation number. But again, you just want to make sure it is the car that is listed on your parking permit.
Right, so you'd make the reservation first and then ask for the, no, it has to
Nope.
be.
You just call up and you speak to a supervisor, or again, email, either one,
Okay,
and speak to a supervisor. Say, this is my profile number. I'd like to travel on these dates, utilizing my parking permit reverse excursion.
oh, that's what it's called, reverse excursion.
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
you're welcome.
Says, do I have to choose a car associated with the preferred status to see the preferred space? You have to be logged into your account.
And it has to be a qualified vehicle. So if you submit in your documentation for your profile and you only give us a copy of one car registration, that's the only car that's going to access it. You have the ability to add other cars onto your profile without us authorizing them, but it will not be eligible for the preferred space or the excursion rate. So in order for you to access that, it would have to be submitted in properly.
And then how do you reach a supervisor by phone?
You dial 508-548-5011, and the extensions are 229, 155, 280, and 273.
It says, please consider utilizing the lifts more consistently. I understand that trucks and supplies need to get to Martha's Vineyard. However, this is at times at the expense of the MV residents waiting long hours and standby without being offered to go up on the lift and get home hours earlier.
We are on it for this summer. That is one of our goals, is to be able to utilize that more often for the ability of the residents to get back and forth.
Right, and then we can put those numbers, that phone number in chat also.
Yep.
Is the reverse excursion still only the last boat off island at night? If moving a car to Palmer, that wouldn't allow you to get back in the same night? No, that's not the case anymore.
There are no
It's-
limitations. there used to be limitations in regards to the times and dates, but not at this point.
Okay, can you give me that phone number one more time?
508 548 5011
Extension.
250 229 273 and 155.
It's in the presentation.
Yeah, and those numbers are all in the presentation as well, so.
They are. And they are all on all of our forms as well. So if you were to go online and you were to download one of the forms for one of your needs, we have all the contact information directly on the forms for you.
And then will chat also be available in the link for this meeting?
That I apologize. I do not know that question offhand.
I don't believe the chat is on.
Yeah, it's just gonna be the PowerPoints, and well, on YouTube, it might be on there. No idea.
Well, and
Sean,
yeah,
help us.
Sean, pipe in with a comment here, because this is a Sean question now.
Oh, the chat will be posted.
Thank you, Mr. Sean.
Thank you, Sean Driscoll. Saving everybody again.
Thank you.
Leon.
All right, that looks like we've gotten everybody. Again, if you guys have any additional questions, please feel free to email myself or Allison at any time and we will help you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.